Hey guys, so this is a continuation of travel to the Philippines during COVID-19. Right now it's November, what time is it? It's November 11th, 2020. It's about, I'd say 1 o'clock in the morning. So a little bit of jet lag. So I'm gonna recap a little bit. So I left the Philippines on the 6th at around 9:40 in the evening. I got to the Philippines because of the time difference. Philippines is 16 hours advanced, and so I got in at 3:40 in the morning. Went through, you know, the airport during COVID-19, and I'm sorry about that pause. I'm trying to think about what I had to go through, but it's actually this is dovetailed into other videos or footages that I did. So, and I'm gonna seam it together. So like I said, so I'm just gonna recap a little bit. So I landed in the Philippines, went to the airport. We had a briefing or a little bit of presentation from the Coast Guard and the Bureau of Quarantine. And you go through, I went through the non-OFW. And excuse me. And I'm sharing this because, there's so many scary stories about travel, so on and so forth. So I don't know if I got lucky or this is to dispel the myth, but this is what I went through. And I thought it was seamless. It was actually better than during regular travel without the COVID. So, and I went to the Philippines last year around the same time. So that's the comparison that I'm gonna make. So I go through in the airport. I go through. They were just like I said, the presentation. You're supposed to have the QR code. I did everything that I was supposed to, and it's all spelled out in the Philippine Airlines website. Who can go and what you're gonna go through. So I go through the non-OFW, which is OFW. I guess is Overseas Filipino Workers. So we go through, and they go to a different area, and we don't really see them until later. So we're sat down, and there's social distancing. Folks are in their PPEs. They all look alike because they wear the same thing. That was not a racist statement. So. And you're sat down and you're given another briefing, if I can call it that. So you're actually sat down and you have your QR code. Hopefully you fill out all your paperwork that they gave you on the plane before you got on the plane, and just have that with you. And then you just sit. You're socially distanced, and then they call you row by row. And so when your row is called, they actually you go there for the payment. So like I said, it's payment for a swab is 4,000 pesos, which is about $80. They'll take actually credit card. They'll take GPay, cash. They'll take Philippine peso. They'll take US dollars. They'll take it however they can, which is fine. They should. It helps pay for the cost, because actually it's so well organized and it looks so really. I mean, I don't know about how other people feel, but I work in the healthcare, and I thought it was just so efficient the way they did it. So you're sat down, you make your payment goes through, they assign you to a window, you go to the window, the guy will tell you what to do, what to expect. They have two little holes on a plexiglass, and so the guy behind you, you can barely understand. Which I have, sometimes I have a hard time hearing. That's another story. So the guy says, all right, I'm gonna go in your mouth and then the other nostrils, the two nostrils. I go, okay. And I didn't really understand all that. And then he'll actually tell you anyway. So you're supposed to, there's a gap, like I said, there's a hole in the plexiglass here and another one here. So you're supposed to be right in the middle, so you don't cough or do whatever. So he sticks his hand out, and he does the oral swab first. So he does that with his and he swabs around your mouth, and then he puts it in a vial. And then this is kind of like what we used to do in the early stages of COVID testing where I work. So then he puts that away, and then he has you lean back, and he says, "All right," and he just goes in there, and then he says, "Okay," and then just the other side, and he actually, you have your head tilted, and he just, I don't know how he did. I think he did it with his left hand and then the right hand, but he did it. He was in there, and it just, you feel it in the back of your, it feels like it's touching your ear and your nose. So he twirls it, and you can feel that gritty feeling. It's actually not bad. So it's not too scary. It's not, it's not supposed to be pleasant. I mean, something's being stuck up your ears, but it's not really that bad. I don't like anything going up my nose, water or whatever it is. But he did that, went in and out, boom, done. And then I went downstairs. I was the last one. So I don't know if this is why it worked out or why it didn't work out. I wasn't in any rush anyway. Nobody's gonna pick me up other than the shuttle for what do you call that? The hotel where I was staying, which is Trip Wyndham. And this is a bit of a plug. They're not paying me. I wish they would. But so anyway, let's see. So then you go after that. They actually have people. There's signage and there are people, and there's so few people there. I think there were probably less than 254. I think the capacity for the plane that I think it was an Airbus something, and they were supposed to be like 264 capacity, but we weren't really that. I mean, even though I was the last person before the disabled, and it actually went fast. So I got swabbed, and then they said through this way, and it says immigration, and you go through immigration, and I got there. I was the only. There were only two other people. The third to the last and the second to the last. so they were there, and they were like four cute young immigration officers, and I'm a dual citizen, so she stamped both. So I've always had that fear that, holy cow, what if they just stamp the Philippine passport and I have a blank American passport? Like, am I going to be able to get in? So she stamped them. She even smiled. For 1 second, and then she took my picture twice. So then she stamped them, and I was like, and literally like 2 minutes later, or maybe even less, I was waved through, and then you have to go sit, and I guess since I was last, I didn't really have the burden of waiting. If you're like number 52, there are 52 people in front of you, and they're moving kind of slow. Well, since I was the last one, I was just, trickling in. I didn't really have a long time to wait because they were all done. Most of them were done. So I think there were like maybe, I was like 15 or something. There were like two folks on a table with their PPE or half PPE on. And they were going through, they want to make sure if you have a hotel, because one of the requirements is you're supposed to have a hotel. So, and then the QR code, which is for the swabbing, which I already did. So I gave them my reservation, showed them there's Wi-Fi actually. There's excellent Wi-Fi in the airport, and they did that. They turned it on, so you can actually, show them your email confirmation. So they confirmed it. They asked if I had a shuttle. If you don't have a shuttle, they will actually recommend one, but it's pricey, and they'll tell you it's pricey. And I think it's about how much did they say? I think it's like 1,900 pesos, $30 to transfer. So I told them I already had one, which I find out later I didn't. They're just trying to help you. So I got that, and then I got my bags. My bags were missing from the carousel. It was Carousel 7. And I just asked one of the guys that are wearing camouflage green, which I guess were Coast Guard. There's a lot of heavy presence of Philippine Coast Guard all over the place. A white Coast Guard, well, I guess if you think of it, the Philippines is an island. So, yeah. So I talked to the person, I show her, and she verifies that I do have a hotel. You're supposed to have a 2-day stay. My suggestion, don't pay for these 4-star hotels, because I'll tell you why later. I hope I tell you. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. So you shouldn't really have to pay for these expensive hotels. I'm gonna tell you now, because you're not gonna use them, because your results are gonna come back really fast. My results came back, so I got swabbed at around, I'd say, we got landed at 3:40. Let's just say at 4 o'clock. At 4 o'clock, I got swabbed. By 11 o'clock in the morning, it was even before noon. So that's like what, 7 hours? In 7 hours, I got my swab results, which were negative, by the way. So most people will not stay in the hotel. They say, screw this. You know, I'm not gonna stay 2 days to get quarantined, because once you get your email that you're negative for COVID, you just call front desk and you share with them, and you're free to go. And actually, it's very important. It's actually a good idea to get it printed out. Luckily, I have 2 cell phones. A very old cell phone that I use in the Philippines because it's unlocked, and it's broken. But it still works. And as a matter of fact, I'm using the Wi-Fi right now. So you actually you go through that, and then you go through customs. Well, I was the last one, and it's like, where's everybody? So I asked the Coast Guard. I say, well, where do I go? And he says, yeah, just go out there. So I just went out. So I didn't really have anything to carry anything. So I don't recommend you carry anything illicit, because you'll be a dumbass, because they have presents all over, and they're dogs. They're gonna sniff your ass. So don't do any crazy shit. So don't bring anything. Just bring your essentials. As a matter of fact, I recommend, and this is just me, I bring the bare minimum. And you gotta, I don't want to deal with that shit where I'm gonna get stabbed. But you do what you gotta do, and if you do something illegal, I hope your ass gets caught. I hope your ass gets thrown into jail. So anyway, I go out and I look for my shuttle, and there's nobody there. You got a couple of people standing by the rails waiting to pick up their loved ones, and there are taxis and shit. But no ride for me, which is good. And so I asked the Coast Guard, one of the Coast Guard guys, I said, hey, is anybody looking for me? And he said, no. He says, this is what's your name? Well, he didn't ask me for my name. He says, where are you staying? He says, who are you expecting a ride from? I said, Trip Wyndham. He says, well, he says, we've been here. He says, I got a list, and who came? He says, no, nobody. I said, well, how do I get to my hotel? And he says, I didn't say it that way. And he says, oh, you got to go around. I think that's the thing, is you need to be polite. And the employees are pretty polite, most of them anyway. So he says, you know what? He says, go in there and then go make hook a ride, and then there's a little kiosk. And sure enough, I went through the security, made a ride, and to the kiosk. And she says, are you trying to get a voucher, or I forgot what they call it, a voucher or something, right? And I said, yeah, yes, please. And she writes it up, and then she says, all right, go to Bay 12. I thought she said B12. So I go out and I'm looking for B12. And actually, then I saw a Bay 11. I said, oh man, maybe she said Bay 11. But then I said, oh, this is Bay 11, Bay 15, Bay. Oh, and what it is that the odd number bays are on the inside, on the island, on the other side, or the even numbers. And you may not see Bay 12 because it's got a schedule of, I think, shuttles and stuff. There's a big sign. I might have just missed it. But there's a kiosk. So you go there and, you know, and they have the COVID precautions, plexiglass, little hole, and everybody wearing masks. And you give them that, she writes the info down, and she says, all right, talk to a taxi, and they're already talking to the taxi. And, you know, and the guy I talked to, the taxi driver, Noel, it's a plug for you, Noel. Actually, he's a white taxi driver. And this is a side, this is an aside. You might not want to take the yellow cabs because you'll get ripped off. I don't know. I got ripped off. I used cabs 3 times or 4 times in Manila, and they will overcharge you. They'll double the price. So they asked me, "Do you want metered or fixed price?" I said, "Which is better?" I said, "Fixed price." I don't give a shit. So I don't want to get into the fixed price from airport to the hotel. Was the shuttle was supposed to be through the hotel was 1,700 pesos, which is $34. I said, not a big deal, right? Turns out that the taxi, which is a van, which a Toyota Hiace or something like that, was 350 pesos. Big freaking difference. I get a van all to myself with 3 bags, you know, 2 checked in and 1 carry-on. I paid 350 pesos, which is like $7. Am I gonna refuse? No, I'm not gonna refuse. I need a ride anyway. So I talked to the guy. We have a conversation. He loves to fish. I love to fish, and we got to talking. He gave me his number later. I said, "Hey, let's go fishing." And I get to the place, Trip Winham, and they'll tell you to wash your hands, and they'll scan your wrist. This is the one crazy thing about the Philippines, and it's crazy good, is what I mean. Sorry, I'm putting my cell phone down because my arm's getting a little tired. So I apologize. This is like 17 minutes already, but I hope you find this very useful. I hope you don't get scared come to the Philippines. It's not that bad. It was actually awesome. So anyway, so I go to the hotel. They tell you to wash your hands. So I'm thinking, what the hell am I gonna wash your hands? It says over there. I go, oh, okay. And I'm looking for the water. It says, there's a pedal on the floor. It says, there's a pedal on the bottom of the cabinet. So you press the pedal, water comes out, stick your hands in there, get some soap, do your wash your hands, and there's an air dryer right there on the entrance of the drive of the hotel. So you go back, he scans you here, they either scan you in the forehead or the wrist. I guess I passed, it was like 36. So I bring my luggage, you go to the 2nd floor. Nice guy, Arvin, you know, and he's very helpful. He says, oh, well, sir, you know, you're a little early, because it was already 9 o'clock. Somehow I must have dilly-dallied between 4 o'clock and you know, getting there at around, no, I don't think it was even 9 o'clock. I think it might even been like 7:40 or something. So he does this. There were only like 2 of us, two customers or clients, or visitors, or whoever, you know, we're 2 people checking in. So, yep, it goes through his computer. I have a reservation. He says, he gives you 1 card. He says, I was actually going to ask for 2. He says, 1 card, sir. This is just 1 entry. I said, what do you mean 1 entry? He says, you can go in, but you can't get out. I said, huh? He says, you can't get out? I said, do I get locked in? He says, no. He says, you can't. He says, you open the door, you stay, and if you go out, the door is locked, you can't go back in. You won't be, because you're supposed to be in quarantine. You're supposed to be in your room until you get your friggin' results. I go, oh, okay. So I said, it says, I guess if you bail, they'll get you because you've just given all your info, your telephone number, contact number that they're gonna verify that you're gonna go. So this is their contact tracing. So stay put, stay your ass in your room. It's not gonna be that bad. So he tells me, he says, oh well, we can let you in your room. It's not a big deal. He says, he says, we'll give you that waiver. I go, oh, okay, well, this guy's freaking awesome, you know. And he says, but the only thing I can't give you, sir, he says, your room when you actually went and reserved actually includes meals. I go, huh? He says, yeah, it includes meals. He says, you get breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They serve it to you. So I said, oh, okay. He says, the only thing is that even though you can go to your room now, you won't have lunch. I said, it's not a big deal. I said, is there room service? He says, yeah, there's room service. And I actually, I did a sort of like a mukbang, but I screwed up. I was so fascinated. I was blown away by the view that I got on this hotel because he says, oh, sir, I'll put you on the highest floor that's available that has a bayside view. I go, oh, shit. He puts me on the 11th floor with the bayside view, and you see the activity on the bridge and out in the water. So many freaking ships out there, and you get and the view is just amazing. Didn't know that, but hey, I was just going along with it. So he says, yeah. He says, you know, you're here for 2 days. Blah blah blah. It's already paid for. Go to my room. There are two guys that actually will bring your baggage to the room. I said, no, I'm just gonna take this one. Paranoid me. So I go to the room, and it's awesome. Like I said, I just told you about the view. So then I stay there, and I call Five, which is actually the restaurant. I order two sort of like beef bowl kind of thing, but it's lamb and pork. The lamb was, I was actually surprised the lamb was, it was done so freaking well that I could eat like a whole pot of that lamb caldereta. And but the sisig, the pork belly sisig wasn't really all that good. It was burnt. So anyway, so I enjoyed that, and I was just blown away. I tried to do videos. You know, you're on the 11th floor and you can see all this activity. A lot of bikers. It reminded me of Denmark when I visited Denmark. It's just people riding their bikes all over the place. And I said, wow, this is awesome. People were fishing and there were people swimming on the bay. Yeah, people were swimming on Manila Bay. And it was actually, I found out later on why. And I actually did the same thing. I swam. Well, I can't swim. I just took a dip in Manila Bay. And it was so crazy. It was so clear. And it was so refreshing, but it was in the rocky, you know, it's on the seawall. So anyway, so I ate and I was tired. I was you know, and I said I'm gonna take a nap. So I took a nap, and I woke up at around 11 o'clock, and I said, man, I said, and I was being impatient. I said, maybe, just maybe, I'll take a look, see if there's any. You know, any email, and I hope it works, right? Because I have like one is for US and one's for the Philippines. I look at my phone. There's great Wi-Fi. There it is, 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock in the morning. I get my COVID results, and you click on the email, and then it's encrypted. You can't open the damn thing. You need a password. It's password protected. So somehow I got it right the first time. You know, you have to use capital letters. Use capital letters. Don't be a dumbass like I was, because I used capital letters on one device and then I use small letters. What an idiot. You have to use capital letters and your date of birth, and boom, there it is. You get your COVID report. My case, it was negative, and I called downstairs. They said, okay, sir, you're good. And So I said, "Can I go out now?" They said, "Yeah, you can go out since you're negative. If you're negative, and you tell them, and then I think they secretly I think they get a freaking copy from the place. So you can get it printed out actually at the front desk. So I go down there. I said I have a one-way card here. I said, do I get it activated so I can go back? It says, yeah, you just come down. And well, I was already down there, so they reprogrammed it, so I was able to go out. There I was. So I'm getting to it. I apologize. This has gone to 25 minutes. So I actually went all over Manila. I went to Manila Bay. I took a dip. I met up with folks and went shopping. And why pay so much freaking money for a 4-star hotel when you're not even gonna stay there 2 days? I didn't know. I should have just gotten. So you can get, these high-end hotels if you want to. Not me. I wish I hadn't done that, but I did anyway. You can actually get them, and they actually, when you're at the airport, they'll say, "Sir, you look like you're on a budget. We have places there that aren't really 4-star," which is like, I wish they would. I wish I didn't have any reservations. They start at like $20. Which is like not a big deal. Mine was a lot pricier. I'm not gonna tell you how much it was for 2 days. It was a lot more than $20 a day. So and if it was me, if I was to do it over again, I'm not gonna stay that long. If I know I'm negative anyway, or if I don't have any symptoms or any of that. But if you think you're positive for any reason, you know what? Make yourself comfortable. Spend that extra money. But after you get your positive results, you're gonna get ass trucked to a friggin' isolation center anyway. So you get isolated, and for 14 days. Hopefully you'll make it. And for those, I don't know if that was inappropriate, but I meant that sincerely. That if you do get COVID, I hope you recover and you recover fast, because there's so much to enjoy in the Philippines. So anyway, so I was free. So I could have gone, I could have checked out at 11 o'clock on the same freaking day I arrived. But no, I wanted to get the free lunch, which actually, I didn't actually end up eating anyway. They'll actually leave it on a container, which is actually, the containers are great. They're not styrofoam. They're actually these recycled things. And the Philippines is doing all this crazy shit about being green and recycling. It's like, wow. It reminds me of America a few years ago, but at a faster pace. So yeah, I see good things. That's another story. So, but then, so I tour Manila, and then on the 10th I leave, and then this is where, I'm almost there, sorry, it's 28 minutes. So I actually, so I did my thing in Manila, and then it was time to go. So, depending on where you're gonna go, you might want to check it out. It just so happens I'm gonna go to Pampanga, which is a couple of provinces over, and guess what? You just need your medical certificate, which is good for 15 days. In my case, I had a COVID test about 2 days ago. That was perfect. Showed it to them. They gave me a ticket. I went to a Victory Liner in Cubao, and the price of the ticket to get from Manila to Pampanga? Are you kidding me? This is freaking ridiculous. 150 pesos. 150 pesos from Manila to Pampanga. That's cheaper than a freaking taxi. Cheaper than a tricycle with 3 people. And I asked the guy, and he says, does it ever get filled capacity? Because they'll tell you, oh, you're going to be a chance passenger, sir. I guess they say that because, you know what? There's a chance you're not going to get in, because if you don't get your paperwork straight, they're not letting you in, which is awesome. And at the bus station, there's social distancing. They got their seats marked. Everybody's got their mask, plexiglass. It's very surreal. It's almost like watching a futuristic movie, a few years ago. So I go there, I get my ticket, 150 freaking pesos for an air conditioned, and you get every other seat. Except I sat next to fat ass over there who actually turned this way. So is she socially distancing? I don't know. Her fat ass was bumping onto mine when she's supposed to be another. You know, there's supposed to be her by the window, an empty seat, and me. But no, she decides to take her sticker, fat ass, go this way instead of sitting here with me over here. And like, you know, it's like she's here and I'm supposed to be there. But no, she does this shit. So she does this. And so she starts. And she starts halfway, maybe a third of the way to Pampanga. She goes, she's got her freaking mask down here. I said, excuse me, miss, could you put your mask on properly? He just kind of looks at me weird. And this woman is just, oh my God. She's got so many issues in her life. It makes you wonder. So yeah, half the way I felt miserable, but she's like sticking her ass and she's just like, and I kept touching her elbows and I said, oh God, this is a gross woman. Anyway, so I'm sorry about that. I don't know why I shared that. I apologize. Yeah, you can think whatever of me. But anyway, so I get in the bus. We get to Bacolor, not Bacolor. Why did I say Bacolor? In Pampanga, San Fernando, which is next to Bacolor. I guess that's why I said that. So we get to the Pampanga terminal in San Fernando, which is actually in the Robinsons Mall now. It used to be by the flyaway, but now they have this nice terminal behind Robinson's Mall. It's freaking, it's like you're at the airport. They got people in uniform. You think, oh shit, you're at the airport. It's actually a bus terminal. So the bus terminal, so I'm just trying to make sure I illustrate that the you know, being able to go from point A to point B, which is LA to Bacolor, was almost seamless. So I get from Cubao to sitting next to Lardass over here to San Fernando, the terminal. You disembark or the bus, and there are people saying, "Hey, tricycle!" And I didn't have anybody pick me up. I didn't want anybody to pick me up. It's COVID, and I said, I'm glad that they were there. So you kind of haggle. So I said, he says, where? I said, how much? He says, where are you going? I said, I want to go to want to go to here. And he says, I said, how much? He says, you tell me. I go, he says, I'll give you $100. He says, I said, I'll give you 100 pesos, which is like $2. And it's going to take me like maybe 6 kilometers away. He says, it's a little too low. So I said, what? I said, 150? He says, no. He says, there's other tricycles out there. You can ask them. I go, okay. But I said, no, I said, hang tight. I'm going to ask a couple of questions anyway inside the terminal. So I asked the guy, the bus driver, I said, hey, what does it take for me to get back in case I have to get back by bus? He says, you need a medical certificate. And I said, well, I have a COVID test a few days ago. He says, that's fine. He says, is it October? And I said, no, it's November. Yeah, I said, you're fine. I said, how many days are they good for? He said, I think about a month. This is the bus driver. And then there's a guy, the official looking guy, walks out. He says, hey, sir, how long is the health certificate good for? He said, it's 15 days. I go, okay, 15 days. So mine is going to be good for, at least till I get to Manila. So that's actually supposed to be 15 days. So then so I got out of the bus and then I saw a tricycle guy there. So I said, how much to the flyaway, which is a flyover? There's an overpass. And he says, 50 pesos, which is $1. And a tricycle. And I said, I said, you know what? $4. He's gonna $1 if he takes me just like 2 kilometers away, but $4 if he takes me. I said, you know what? Let's go all the way. So I got my big bag because I actually left some of the stuff in Manila, and so he actually So man, you would think that the highways that there was no COVID. Oh shit! It was like, man, it was, you know, bumper to bumper, you know, traffic everywhere. And if you've seen bumper to bumper traffic in the Philippines, it's not like bumper to bumper traffic in America. It's like people are all over the place. Somehow I make it, and which I know I would. Drops me off at the front of the house. Boom, I'm there. And yeah, so I got from LA to Bacolor, no big deal. It was fun. It was just so. It's the, I think if you have high expectations, leave them at home. Have low expectations, you know what? It was probably the most efficient travel that I've ever been in. Yeah, even before COVID. Before COVID, shit is a nightmare, but this is like freaking awesome. So, are there people that don't wear the mask properly? Yeah, hell yeah. LA alone, there's a lot of dumbasses that do that shit. They don't wear the mask. Makes you want to get into altercation, but save it. Just leave it. Leave it. If you're gonna come from California, leave it in California, which is what I did, kind of a little bit. But then but yeah. So that's the process of getting to the Philippines from LA, and it was actually freaking awesome. So it's 36 minutes. I apologize. I hope this helps them. Even if it was just to allay your fears that it's not that scary to travel in COVID. Just do the right thing. Just social distancing, wash your hands, good hygiene, change your friggin' clothes, cover your mouth, wear your face shield, and I think you'll be fine. Now, do I have any symptoms? I don't. But is my throat scratchy? Hell yeah. I've been talking for the last 37 minutes. So I think it's about 2 o'clock. I hope you found this very helpful. Like I said, this is going to be like sort of like the part 2, with just a recap. And kind of show the other video is I'm actually going to try to stitch together those actually where I was at. So this is more of a narrative. And I apologize you had to look at my face. But at least I'm wearing a Lakers Kobe Bryant shirt that I got in Manila. And I got it for, I'm not going to tell you. Yeah, it's a counterfeit. So anyway, so I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you like it. Hope you subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Hope you share it. Give it a thumbs up. Come on. One for the Gipper. And I hope you have safe travels. I hope you have fun, because it looks like it's fun. They got Parol, all those lighted stars, and Pampanga, a lot of stars in BGC. Is there social distancing in BGC? Scratching my head. It looks like it's America. And, it's like I never even left America. It's just so the same. What it's like in LA, Los Angeles, it's the same thing in BGC, except you get these tricycles. All right, I'm really gonna cut it out, and I hope you guys enjoy your stay. I hope you enjoy my other videos. I'm gonna post a shitload of videos on this channel, and I'll see you guys later. Stay care, and remember to socially distance. Don't be a dumbass like Lardass over here. All right, no, she's not here. Actually, the person I was sitting at the bus, she went to another place. All right, she's another story. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Bye for now.